volunteer read our central questions for the day? Thank you, Mari.
What caused the Vietnam War? What was fighting like during the Vietnam War?
Thank you, Mari.
Good job.
In your table of contents, JC, it is March 11th.
Maya. You asked back. She gonna get me What's today?
Live. Thank you, March 11th. Today's entry is the Vietnam War. And where we're taking notes, please write down the topic and time period. Top of the page. Today's topic is the Vietnam War. We're looking at 1954 to 1975.
Girl, kissing girl, maybe leave they out now. What's up?
Please drop your cord on the line. You don't need the full page today. We are only taking 2 terms.
Tell nigga that before you weak die.
So our first term today is the Vietnam War. Vietnam War is going to last from 1954 to 1975. Very similarly to what happened in Korea. This whole war is to stop the country from becoming communist.
You ain't got no paper on this on.
No. There's only 2 terms.
Me. What company is you? What company is you?
It's the form of government of the country. One person makes all the decisions in the country. You have no freedoms. So you can't, whatever the country says you do. A little different from the king list. Can I change this slide in 5? There are 2 sides. This is our last term for today. The 2 sides in the Vietnam War.
I'll move that. Nobody needs that, right?
Ladies and gentlemen.
I told you.
So you have the North Vietnamese, who are going to be communists. They're going to be led by a dictator named Ho Chi Minh. And their entire goal is to make all of Vietnam, this entire area here, into one communist country. On the other side, you're going to have the South Vietnamese. And story we've seen before, the South Vietnamese are going to be democratic. Very similar to the Korean War. They're going to be supported by America. everything it can to prevent this part of Vietnam from becoming communist. If they become communist, they're worried about the domino theory. Can someone remind the class what is the domino theory? Ashley.
One country goes communist and all of them go, something like that.
So if one country in an area becomes communist, all the other countries surrounding them will as well. So if this area becomes communist, Cambodia will be turned to communism, Thailand, Laos, and eventually all of Asia is going to be a communist country. Do me a favor, put your journals to the side and pull out the classwork. We'll come back to the journals at the end of class. So now please pull out the classwork. It looks like this. Has all the stop signs on it. What we're going to do, well, what's in front of you is kind of the history of Vietnam, the quick snapshot of what is happening in the country of Vietnam before the war. In order to understand why there's going to be a war, we have to know what happens that leads up to the war. So as a class, we are going to read and annotate the section that says French colonialism. There are 3 ways I want you to annotate this text. Josh, can you read the first way? I want you to annotate. Up on the board.
I gotta read the book. Several difficult vocab, underline info, write summary and put in the knowledge.
So just how we've been answering and annotating all our texts, we're going to do that. This first section we'll do as a class. So have a volunteer read the first paragraph in modern history. All right.
In modern history, many European countries seized areas of Asia and Africa and made them into their colonies. A colony is established when native land and territory is ruled by a distant country. France violently took over Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam in the mid-1800s. By 1893, France reorganized these countries as colonies under one name. Indochina, determined to civilize the people in Indochina, the French imposed upon the Southeast Asian Western culture, religion, right, and government. Many endured forced labor and production of tin, pepper, coal, cotton, rice, and
You are following along. I have underlined some important information from that paragraph. So Europe had this policy of colonizing other countries. We talked about this at the beginning of the year, our first quarter. France is going to come in and colonize 3 countries in Asia: Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. I circled these names, Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. They're not typical terms we see, but these are all countries in Asia. So they're going to colonize, take over these countries. France is going to control these countries and call it Indochina. And they are going to force the citizens of these countries to produce different items for them, make different items for them to sell. Summary I want you to write for this first paragraph. Some of the symbols. France colonized Asia. Or France colonized parts.
How long you talking about this or these? You talking about?
While the primary was.
I got two more.
Heather, if you can read, take care of that second one in a minute. Just start reading for me.
While the primary motivation for, how you say the word?
Colonialism.
Huh?
Colonialism.
Colonialism, the system by which colonies are maintained for economic exploitation. Each of the countries within French Indochina experienced colonialism. How you say the word again?
Colonialism.
Colonialism. I'm gonna say colonial. Differently. French presence was especially strong in Vietnam, where it had set up administrative centers in the south, center, and north. The Vietnamese faced economic oppression such as high taxes and monopoly on salt and trade. French dominance permitted throughout all of Vietnam's cultural, educational, and political institutions.
Make sure to underline important information in that section. Yep. The main idea. The French are going to oppress the Vietnamese. They're going to completely control them, oppress the people while they are in power. This oppression, forcing them, this economic oppression, forcing them to pay high taxes. There's going to be a lot of resentment built up. Vietnamese are going to be very frustrated with the French leaders. This is going to lead to problems. Before we read the next section, what I would like for you to do, take the second page and open it. On this second page, we have 3 questions about the section we just read. The first question asks, list 2 time markers from French colonialism. So 2 time markers, an example would be in the mid-1800s. The French took over Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. You can steal my answer and write it down in that first box on the left.
Right here. On the back page.
Bro.
Hey, cuz, yeah, chill out over there.
So under the section that says French colonialism, there's a box asking for 2 time markers.
Oh, we gonna let that on this one.
Another time marker. So in mid-1800s, the French are taking over Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. In 1893, they make this colony Indochina.
Everybody's not too small for it.
Second, I want you to start looking through the second question. What is a colony? You should be able to find that in the text. Who can explain what is a colony? We also learned about it when we learned about imperialism.
I know.
Did you find it?
I get it.
Brianna, go ahead and tell us, what is a colony?
A colony is established when native land or territory is ruled by a distinct country.
Right, so when a native land or territory is controlled by a distant country. You can copy that out of the text, or you can write what I wrote on the board. Brianna's is a stronger definition. I put when a stronger country controls a weaker. That's what we learned with imperialism. And what's going to motivate the French to colonize? Why is there going to be French colonialism in Vietnam? Economic exploitation. There should be an L there. That's a typo. They're going to take advantage of the Vietnamese economy. They're going to take their resources, make them pay high amounts of money, exploit them economically. Jump back to your reading. We're going to do this next section a little quicker. We're going to read Rebellions and Revolution. The box that says Rebellions and Revolution, you are going to annotate on your own. Cortesia, can you read the first paragraph on Rebellions and Revolution?